What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today we are checking out this, one of the coolest, if not the coolest Porsche made in the last 10 to 15 years, the 911 Dakar. And wow, I just love the fact that Porsche did this, that they decided that this was a good idea. I mean, I guess they saw the trend that some of these coach builders were building 911 Safaris, raised 964s and stuff like that, and they just thought, well, okay, we can do that as well. And they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. So today I'm going to show you around it. We'll take a look at all the cool stuff you get on the Dakar, and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. Okay, so we'll start with the spec of this particular car. This is shade green, a special color for the Dakar, and it suits the car really well. It's like a NATO sort of camo color. Very, very cool. You get a lot of like plastics and protection on the 911 Dakar. So you get these plastics down here with this like rugged look, and this protection plate, which is not that protective, I would say. And underneath, not that much protection either. So it is very, very capable, but it doesn't have like underbody protection. It's more meant to be going fast on like a desert road or like a dune, stuff like that, more so than real proper off-roading. That's why it doesn't have that much protection. What they did do to optimize the ground clearance and to improve the angles of departure and attack, they switched out the cooling. So the main radiator that normally sits in here, which sits quite low, they swapped that out and they upgraded the left and right radiators with bigger fans. So these are from the 911 Turbo to improve cooling without the central radiator, which is pretty smart. You also get this tow hook in aluminium and red, very cool. A carbon bonnet similar to the GT3, or maybe it is the one from the GT3, that's probably the case, which looks amazing. And then the side, well, look at this, this is amazing. So you start with this wider arch with plastic, and then you've got these Pirelli Scorpion all-terrain tires. These are specifically designed for the 911 Dakar. They do suffer on tarmac, as you can see, so yeah, they don't really like that. They are made for off-roading, but they do work on the road surprisingly well, I have to say, quite like that. 245s and special 19-inch wheels. These are absolutely gorgeous, but I saw one with wide wheels as well, which is super, super cool. Suspension wise, we've got the regular suspension from a 911, but they decreased the spring rate by 50%, so it's a lot looser. We've got beautiful brakes, they work super well. And then, as you can see, the ride height. So what they did is they took the hydraulic nose lift system of a normal 911 and they basically turbo boosted that thing to work on both axles and to work a bit better. So the ride height is 50 millimeters higher than a comparable 911 with sport suspension. So this car is based on a Carrera 4 GTS. So it's 50 millimeters higher than that car. And then you have an additional 30 millimeters to use with the button inside. This is the highest setting. So this is 80 millimeters higher than a regular 911 with sport suspension, which is kind of crazy. Clearance is really, really good. I mean, it just looks so cool as well. Absolutely love that. So we've got the optional carbon mirror caps. We've got a more rugged side skirt there. And this car also has the optional roof rack with some other goodies, so some accessories. They have a lot of stuff for this car. They even have a roof tent to fit on this roof rack. We've got a shovel here, some jerry cans, and some plates for off-road driving. But it just looks amazing. And you've got these integrated LEDs in there. They are actually quite bright, and it just looks so stunning. It looks like a toy car come to life. It's like super weird, and in real life it made a much bigger impact on me than I thought it would. It is quite amazing to see. So at the rear we've got a fairly wide tire, 295. You can actually see that that is quite a wide knobbly tire there from the rear. That looks super cool. And we can also show you the suspension being raised and lowered now. So if Huub starts up the car and he lowers the car, you can see that this is the normal ride height. So this is 50 mils higher than a regular 911 with sport suspension. And then if Huub raises it again, there it goes. And that is proper clearance. Now the amazing thing is that it's only 30 millimeters, but when you're driving you can do it up to like 150 or 170 kilometers an hour. When you do it while driving, it feels like so much more, because you can just feel the car raising up and you can just see the difference looking at the road, which is very cool. So at the rear we've got this plastic inlay, absolutely amazing, more protective plating, a nice sport exhaust in black as well, and again you've got that tow hook in red aluminium. I mean, this is so cool. Oh my god. And then you've got this fixed spoiler here as well in this plastic. Kind of reminds me of like a 930 turbo spoiler in that black plastic. Just looks so cool. And I love that it's fixed and you've got just open air intakes there, which is very cool as well. But one of my issues with a 992, I absolutely adore this car, but design wise I feel like the spoiler is kind of a letdown, because when it opens up it's just very ugly. And this, I think I would just mount this thing on my regular 992. If that would be possible, I would just do that, because it looks so cool. So inside we've got a 911 badge in green there with matte carbon inlay. We've got a lot of matte carbon here. Very cool. Quite like that. We've got specific 911 DAKAR logos everywhere. Alcantara steering wheel, or Racetax as Porsche calls it, with shade green stitching, so to match the exterior color. And then we've got a roll cage and a fire extinguisher here as well. And these gorgeous bucket seats in carbon, again with the 911 badge there. You can also have the regular sports seats, so the more comfortable ones. I think if you are actually going to use this thing for some light off-roading, you know, some hard driving on like sand roads and dunes and whatever, you definitely need these seats to keep you in your place. But they are relatively uncomfortable because the seating position is just a bit, it's very active, so you're very straight up, which is nice for hard driving, but not that comfy. And then we've got a very cool badge here as well, 911 DAKAR with number 65 of 2500. And that is because they're only building 2500, of course. Unfortunately, I would have loved to see that they would just build these as much as possible, because they are so cool. And now you're probably never going to see one, because everyone is just going to put them in their garage and wait for them to be worth $500,000. Right now, prices, you know, very irrelevant because they are different everywhere. But to give you an idea, the 911 Carrera 4 GTS, which this car is based on, starts at 220,000 euros in the Netherlands, and this car starts at 306. You can also get this super cool livery on it, like an extended rally pack or a special rally pack with a Rothmans livery, so the white and the blue, but they are not allowed to use that name anymore, probably also because you're not allowed to advertise cigarettes anymore, so they call it Rough Roads instead of Rothmans, which is very cool. But that pack costs 27,000 euros alone. So if you spec this thing to the brim, I think you'll end up with like a 350,000 euro car in the Netherlands, so close to like 300,000 in normal countries, which is pretty insane. Okay, so let's head out for a drive. Let's start it up. There we go. That is normal mode. So if we switch to sport, you can hear the exhaust flaps open up. Now you get a lot of cool stuff on this car as standard, I do have to say. So that price difference, it is not as bad as it seems. You get rear wheel steering as standard to increase the stability, also because, you know, you have massive chunky tires and super high suspension. You also get that GT3 bonnet, but you also get GT3 engine mounts, which are lighter and stiffer. And you also get the Porsche anti-roll system to again increase stability and stuff like that. But oh, that is lovely. It does invite you to be a bit of a hooligan, this car, because you have like a lot of playfulness because of those chunky tires. So you have that high suspension. We're in the highest mode right now, so it's pretty loose and all over the place, which just is so much fun. It understeers so quickly, but then when you lift off, you get a nice little bit of correction of that rear end, which is just so beautiful. So it's a lot of fun. We have different driving modes, of course, but I am going to try and find a nice bit of off-road stuff, or at least a nice bit of dirt road this afternoon. So I will do an off-road review going into the driving modes, rally and off-road, but I'll do a quick summary. Rally is basically 80% to the rear and is for driving fast on rally stages. Off-road is 50-50 power distribution and raises the suspension. And then you have sport for the road and stuff like that. So I am actually quite amazed by how well this car behaves itself on the road. Tire noise, not that bad. You would expect it to be absolutely horrible with these tires. But it's really, really impressive. You have a lot of wind noise, of course, from that roof rack. But the tire noise is not that bad, which I really was not expecting. So power-wise, you've got, oh, that's so lovely. You've got 480 horsepower and 570 newton meters of torque, basically the GTS drivetrain. Then you have the PDK as standard and four-wheel drive, of course. So I do get why they took this as a base, because it works really well, but I do feel like it lacks a bit of torque down low. So you really have to like push it hard to get all that power from it. You get some nice turbo sounds though. That is lovely. So as you can hear, those tires, they start squealing so early. So, onto the Autobahn. Down goes the suspension. And this is, of course, where you're going to notice that drag of the roof rack, but also just a higher car, the tires. It's not a very fast car. Does it, you know, make sense to do this on the Autobahn? Not really, but we take every car we film and test to the Autobahn, so we're going to do it anyways. Top speed limited to 240 kilometers an hour because of those tires. Otherwise they would probably explode. But I will say that honestly, driving, you know, regularly on a highway, it's not that bad. I was expecting it to be way, way worse. So, you know, that roof rack is the biggest issue, but you can easily take that off. So I would say that as a daily, or you know, as a car that you would use a lot more on the road, it actually works really well. So performance-wise, 100 to 200, I measured a 10.65 seconds, but it's not really relevant because of that roof rack. pretty impressive. That's the limiter. Oh, that sound at the top of the revs is so amazing. Lovely quick downshifts. I just love the way this car moves around. You've got that rear wheel steering which kind of adds to that feeling, but I'm in sport mode right now and it still feels like super loose. It's so nice. Steering is really good as well. I love that. That playful character of this car is something that you don't really see in other 911s, right? They are quite straightforward. They are very good at what they do, but they are quite straightforward. This feels like it's built just for one thing, and that is to have fun. And I just love that. I absolutely love that. Oh man, yeah. Oh, this car. Just the way it looks, I was already sold, but driving it, it is so much fun. I can't wait to drive it off-road. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel if you want to catch that video when we upload it. You can also check out this video while you're waiting or check out this playlist. Thanks for watching and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.